Yo, what's up, everybody? This is your boy, Comedian Boogie, and we are bringing you two uninformed opinions. I am you're joining your host, Comedian Boogie, and my boy right here, the famous Mark Kearney.
Yeah, he fucked my name all up, people. But like he said, I'm
I
famous.
know
You probably know how to pronounce it. This is Marquette Carney here speaking of the Marquette
your
effect.
fans gonna know how to pronounce it more than me, because I don't give a fuck about you.
Bro, you could have attempted to sound it out. This motherfucker has said my name at least 2,000 times. So put the camera on him and he can't talk anymore.
I want everybody to know that I will be eating dinner during my episode.
Of course.
It means
I don't think people expect like no high production value from a nigga.
Good.
First of all, once they saw Boogie was part of the podcast, they knew there was gonna be some plates, some smacking, some real nigga shit going on. So I'm sure you're not surprising anybody.
Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to say grace. All right, good.
We just lost 1,000 listeners right then. I saw a video TikTok today of somebody doing that, and they did they took the first bite and they closed their eyes real quick, like 3 seconds, and went back. And I was like, I've never seen a more relatable piece of content.
Bro.
I don't know. Like you made a joke about an auctioneer the other day. It's like, how fast do you pray? It depends on how good the food is. Will determine how fast grace is.
Well, if it's some regular old like Taco Bell, I take my time. I need extra blessings. But if it's something my wife made, it's literally, see, what y'all see is what's really happening. God, thanks so much. All right, peace out.
I just sent him the pray emoji.
Yeah.
You gotta look at the visuals for me. What are you eating right now?
You jump bumps. Chicken salad, man.
Chicken salad?
It's low. Yeah, homemade chicken salad. Low carbs, because your boy is losing weight.
You've done the low carb thing before, right?
That's none of your business, sir. I need you to stay on track.
No, I'm asking because I'm trying to remember, because I remember you said that when I met. So the thing is, when I met you, you were big. So it was like, I think you were like the after photo when I met you, but in my mind, you were still the before photo. I didn't have a frame of reference. But when you were on set, you were like, believe it or not, you laughed at all the fat jokes. You were like, believe it or not, though, I'm like 30 pounds lighter right now because all your clothes were big. So I believed you. And I want to say that it was, for all the people listening right now, we're referring to being on set for the movie Thankful for My Family. Hopefully, by the time y'all hear this, Shelton Johnson, the director, writer, and producer of the movie, will have it back on Amazon Prime because it's big to pick it off so he can try to sell it to studios. But yeah, so we were on set. Boogie was like 30 pounds lighter. I had just met him, so he was just another fat nigga to me. And he says that he was 30 pounds lighter because of eating low carb, which he is back doing. Is that correct?
That's right. I am. Why you say back? Like, it's like you let niggas know I failed.
Yeah, failed. You lost 30 pounds. You might have gained 50, but you did lose 30. So
the problem is you keep saying I'm back doing low carbs. Back means nigga failed.
Bro, that's like the untold story of all those before and after photos. Is these motherfuckers bounce right back. I've been in that situation. I did. You ever heard of Herbalife?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did Herbalife for like 2 years, bro. I got leaner than I've ever gotten in life. And when I tell you that shit was a cult, that's why I ended up leaving. I left because I was doing Herbalife and I ended up working, like the people who got me into the company were like in Miami and New York and all these places. So I didn't have a lot of people around me who were part of my like upline, my team in a way. So I found local people who were also doing it just so I can surround myself with other people doing what I was doing, right? So I ended up working in the shop. And everything was all good. We're all drinking shakes, losing weight, bringing in, getting clients, making money, all that kind of good stuff. But then I started hearing like their thought process. Like Herbalife their goal is to get as many people as possible to join this movement and sell these products. Now, part of that is we don't want to overload you with information, so we're not going to teach you anything about fitness. Just drink these shakes and lose the weight. And they even train you. They're like, if anyone asks you how these shakes work, respond with this: I don't know about that. We got a lot of scientists for that. All I know is I'm down 30 pounds off of Herbalife, right? So you got like a canned response. So I worked in this health club with some people, and people would come in, buy shakes. They were trying to sell them on, like, you know, either buying more product or joining their team, right? And I would just hear like the lies they would tell people. Like, I can't even say if they were lies or not. They just were just totally misinformed. So they had like this goofy ass scale that supposedly could tell you how much body fat you lost and how much muscle you gained. Dude, they had people like 74 coming in there, and every weekend I would hear, you gained 3 pounds of muscle. I was like, how the fuck is this old bitch Arnold Schwarzenegger? How is this old bitch gain 3 pounds of muscle? 10 weekends in a row. Every time she comes in, she gained 10 pounds of muscle. Like, numbers add up, motherfucker. You can't just didn't make
exactly. And it's like they're reading the same script.
Yeah, there was a bodybuilder that came in one time, and he was like, "Well, you know, the shake is delicious, but you know, you can't, like, you're from a biological perspective, you can't gain more than 1 pound of muscle per week, right?"
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
He told one of the girls working there, and her response was not, "Oh, this bodybuilder who's been doing this and studying this for like 2 decades knows more than me." Her response was, "Well, he just doesn't drink Herbalife." I was like, "Bitch, what do you think you're drinking? Some magical concoction? This is still a protein shake, bitch. Wake up. Wake up or in a cult." The Kool-Aid is coming. The alien spacecraft is on its way.
What you should have said was, "Sir, I don't know about that. All I know is I lost 30 pounds by drinking shakes."
All I know is I lost 30 pounds on Herbalife. Oh, man. I've never, and the bitch was still fat. She was still fat. She was one of the people who was so big that losing 20 pounds just made her like lowercase big. You know what I mean? Like, she was big.
She went from being biggest to bigger.
Yeah. You went from the biggest bitch in the room to the third biggest bitch in the room, and now you think that everyone should be drinking shakes. So I had to quickly leave.
So I used to be on.
Go ahead.
Huh? No, I used to be on Weight Watchers. This is when I first got fat, on my first fat go around. So
that reminded me of that Dave Chappelle joke where he's like, "My first time eating OJ Simpson." You got seven stories about how you regained your fatness. Oh, yo, long lost lovers. Go ahead.
Let me tell the listeners the now. See, when the listeners that know me from back in the day, I used to be 175 pounds.
Yeah.
And playing football, 175.
You gotta really use your imagination to get there, though. Like, I'm looking at you, I'm trying to imagine you with 175 pounds. My brain I can't even come up with a visual. But go ahead.
So my listeners, y'all gonna see the pictures because they can be inserted right here. Y'all can see the pictures of me with me being 175. And then you're gonna see I gradually got a little bigger, but I was still lifting weights, playing football, and all this stuff. Then what happened is I got married on October 16th, 2004. I went on a honeymoon October 17th, 2004. We came back on October the 24th, 2004. I was 11 pounds heavier because it was my first time going on a cruise, bitch. And when I tell you, I ate everything they had available. It was like I didn't understand what true eating was until I got on that cruise ship. And it was just like every time we walked past the Lido deck, the little Filipino dude was up there like, "Hey, Boogie, I got your favorites." It was pizza, French fries, hamburger on the same plate. Every time I walked past, I would get up, go walk to the trash can, and walk back. He was like, "Boogie, got your favorite." I'm like, "Hey, I just finished." But the whole time I'm saying, "I just finished," I'm reaching up and grabbing my food like, "I just finished. You got me another one? Okay." I sit down and eat that. We came back from the honeymoon, and my whole bridal party, my whole lineage crew met us at Cheesecake Factory. When I walked in, this is literally all I saw. Everybody looked up like, my shirt that I left to go on cruise with. I came back with this nautical shirt on, tight. And I was like, everybody looked at me like, Boogie, what the hell happened? And I said, man, I ate everything. I didn't know you can gain 10 pounds in a week. And so then after that, we got married, bought the house, got used to her cooking. Her food is fucking delicious. And it shows. So now I became the fat guy of the crew.
Now you're Boogie. Well, I would say the name Boogie matches a fat person. I can't even, you would have to change your name from Boogie if you were 175. It matches how you are now, but it's funny that you caught fatness on the cruise, like people caught COVID.
Yeah. I was laying in the nurse office on the ship with gravy going through my IV.
Like the fatness is spreading. Where's patient zero? And this is you with the plate. It's Boogie Bynum.
Like I was patient zero. The fatness has just been no turning back since then.
Yeah.
So a couple years later, I tried to lose, and I went and got on Weight Watchers. And I did great my first week, but nobody told me about water weight. And I was just like, oh, I lost 10 pounds. I got this. I don't need to go to the meeting.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is about these damn Weight Watchers meetings. You only lose weight when you go to the meeting. If I go to the joint and weigh in, and they be like, Mr. Bynum, are you staying for the class? No, I don't need the meeting. How much did I lose? 1.7. Got it. Leave. Come back next week. Hey, Mr. Bynum, let's see how much you lost today. Well, you're up there this week. What do you mean? I should have came to the meeting. I don't know what it is about the meeting. Sitting in those chairs that make you lose weight. But bro, yeah, if you don't go to the meeting, you gaining weight.
Yeah, I didn't know they had meetings. So is Weight Watchers similar to MLM, like Herbalife, where you can sell product, or how does that work?
So Weight Watchers do sell their own Weight Watcher products, like snack bars, drinks.
So it's like Alcoholics Anonymous for fat people.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to go up front, tell your story.
Yes. And they go around the room, and so they'll go around the room, and she be like, the person will be like, how much you lost today? And you raise your hand and be like, I lost 6 pounds. I lost 7 pounds. And everybody give you claps.
Yeah.
Well, good job. And then, you can tell the one that didn't lose this week, because, they be like, and you be like, next.
Yeah.
I don't choose to share. It's private. Bitch, you gained. That's what it is.
Yeah. We're not watching your weight.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do that.
And then they go in.
Say it again.
And then they go in with the stores. All they do is they go in with the stores and tell, you are supposed to be motivating your classmate, your meet mates. So it's like they were like, okay, Mark, what did you do this week? What did you eat this week that helped with your weight loss? So you tell it, and other people are like, I like beans. I like one bean. Let me eat one bean. That might work for me. And you got to count your points with Weight Watchers. So you be in the grocery section, especially if you can't add. You be in the grocery section looking at the frozen food like, it's 36. I got 5 points left. I can eat that.
Yeah. I don't know about all that. The thing, so it's like the Weight Watchers, I know a lot of fat people who do it. You don't really see a lot of fit people who are like, well, how'd you get so fit, sir? How'd you get that six-pack? Weight Watchers? No, it's normally like a fat person or a person who's less fat but still fat. You can see Oprah on the commercials. Why is Oprah your soul? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why is Oprah big fat ass? She looking like her logo, that big ass O. Why is her big ass telling you how her arms jiggle a little less now? Because
hey,
I love bread. It's like you need to chill out with the bread. Chill out with it. I don't know. It's like because when I would talk to people who are most fit, some people, you go to the gym, and if you go to the gym and you look at where all the fit people are and where all the fat people are, the fat people normally on the cardio equipment, and then the fit people are normally lifting, because
the fat ones are still sitting by the door.
Yeah,
struggling to put the shoes on.
Sitting in the parking lot, trying to build up the curve to get up in there.
Yeah, taking selfies with the sign.
Bro, I thought they were lying. I thought they were lying when they said that Planet Fitness serves pizza. I thought it was just
bro,
but they really in there slanging slices, bro.
Yeah, on
Like
Fridays.
big ass slices too. Not even like, strategically small cut slices that you can hand out just so people can feel good, but like big ass New York style slices, just
Yeah.
grease dripping on the dumbbells. I can't tell how many times I dropped weight in that motherfucker because pepperoni grease.
Yeah.
Why are you giving these pizza, man?
Bro, I used to did miss Fridays. Like I was at the gym on Fridays. I mean, I joined because of that. It was like, I'm joining. She said, "Sir, it's a good job you don't get fit." I said, "Fit? Trying to fit into the slices of pizza on Fridays." I paid my $120 a year to give me a slice of pizza every Friday.
Nah, I can't do it, man. I thought about it though, like, cause I was at Planet Fitness right before COVID, and I went there on a Friday. I normally would go like earlier in the day, but I went that evening, and they had like 20 big ass boxes, and just everyone just lined up. And I'm like, what are y'all doing, man? Y'all gonna be fat forever. For fucking ever. Like, you can buy your own pizza, bro. I'm not eating gym pizza. Not gonna do it. Why would you?
Bro, it's something about
the same place with people.
The smell of sweat. Eat while eating pizza. It tastes delicious.
That combination. You still see Renum spoons on your shirt, and a red juice that has decreased in volume that I've not seen you drink at all, but it was full at one point. Now that bitch is bone dry.
First of all, it's not juice, it's water.
It is?
Yeah.
What am I seeing that's red? Is it just the label?
It's water, sir, but
you got the squirt stuff in it.
It's sparkling water.
First of all, my nigga, that's not water.
This is water. Bro. Where's the camera? Sparkling water beverage.
I guarantee you, if you drink that shit and not any water, you will be in the hospital with kidney stones.
I guarantee I won't. I've had this argument with 19 people.
You drink 6 glasses of water a day. All right, cool. I got this sparkling Kool-Aid here. That's not what we mean. Spring water.
Yeah, this is water.
That's such a Weight Watchers thing to say. What were we in the conversation? People, if depending on how I edit this, you may have heard like a blip in the conversation. Why do you have like your hair look like the top of popcorn when you make it on the oven? For people, if you're just not hearing this, we had a technical issue. Boogie didn't pay his cell phone bill, so we had a drop off in service. But we're back in business now. We're talking about how he thinks flavored sparkling water is actually water. And I disagree. Hopefully we can have a doctor listen to this podcast who can chime in and tell us what's really good. But why are you wearing the plastic cap on the head? What's the purpose? Keep like the moisture?
Because I have to keep my curves moisturized.
You're like foghorn leghorn right now.
I mean, I want all the ladies out there. Look how luxurious. Luxurious.
Yeah.
Like that's like nigga from the street. Look how luxurious it is.
The inspiration for his hair was a large curly fry from Arby's.
I mean, look at this bounce back.
I'm wondering. Oh boy, how long you let it? How long are you gonna throw it out?
I don't know, bro. I gotta not too long because when it get too long, it's hard to detangle.
Yeah, start falling.
I mean, it's crazy. It's not a conversation. I expect you and a half, but I don't mind sharing my natural hair product techniques.
All right, that's good for the audio quality.
Man, but yeah, I had to keep my
ashy. You're a little ashy around the edges.
Yeah, man, that's what it's supposed to do. That's called you had the thing on too long.
Oh, I just in case you're distracting the viewers. It's like I don't know, man. It's like you had on really good black face, but they ran out of the black stuff.
Now everybody get to see my real complexion.
Yeah.
But it'll fade out. It'll just be a distraction for a little while people watching the podcast.
They already had you eating your low carb diet, drinking your fake water. I mean, what else? You might as well just start juggling or some shit and
Full of antics tonight.
All of our listeners have already left this podcast 5 minutes in, so we might as well go ahead and do what the fuck we want to do.
Yeah.
This Chadwick Boseman situation, man.
Man, that don't hurt me,
bro.
And so, bro, and it's like, I think that reason why, like, I felt a certain type of way for a minute was because I put on my Facebook page a video between him and Denzel. Like, he was telling the story how Denzel paid his college tuition and everything. Mm-hmm. So it's 2 videos that I have on my phone. And I've had my phone for the past 2-3 years that I watch. So this video with Chadwick talking about Denzel, I watch maybe like once a month. A little inspirational. But the other joint Denzel got, where he's giving a college what's the thing called?
Commencement speech?
Yeah, thank you. The commencement speech.
And I'm the one who didn't go to college. I know this. Yeah. I've always wanted one. So always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
He was giving this commencement speech. That's like one of the main ones that I listen to, like maybe like every 2 weeks. Every other week, I listen to it like once, twice. And the thing about it is, because you can feel yourself get discouraged sometimes, especially acting. You keep submitting. And you have to remember, it's not you. You're not the problem. They have in mind what they're looking for already. You know, so it's like you got to come in and just deliver the best of your ability, because you don't know what they're thinking. You got to deliver the best of your ability. And you can come in and kill that shit. They were like, oh, man, he was great. But he's not skinny. Or he's not tall enough. He's not short enough. You know, things like that. So those videos, man, I watch all the time. So when Chadwick was gone, it was like, ugh, man, that's another one going young. And I hope Marvel don't try to go make no more Black Panther movie with somebody else.
Yeah. I saw that they were, like when Ian sent that to the group, I had like just saw it. And then we got that group text that Chadwick had passed. And I was like, 2020, man, it's just a crazy, crazy year. But, you know, you go through social media, you see everyone sharing stories, seeing how they're just completely shocked that he actually was going through that battle, you know, virtually by himself and with obviously close friends and family, or probably just family. But like even people who were close to him didn't even know that he was struggling with that. But yeah, man, I think like that should be something actors look at. People in general can be inspired by that story, but you know, people who are in the same career can see like what hard work truly looks like. Like,
yes,
to work that hard and lead a movie and be going through stage 4 cancer to that degree, and then to perform so well and still keep your energy and spirit so high on set that no one knows.
I mean, can you imagine? And granted, I'm not saying that we on any kind of level, same level as Chadwick, but can you imagine all the long hours that we put in on set? And imagine one of us going through chemo.
Yeah.
And stage 4 during that.
Yeah.
We was already tired. We healthy.
Yeah. I was being pissy on set with some certain people for second lives up and shit. I can imagine if I had chemo with it.
Yeah. I've been walking around telling everybody. So the fact that he would keep it to himself.
Yeah. You could have been using that to get to like the front of the lunch line. You know I got cancer, right? I'm on chemo. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Chadwick, that was a crazy situation. I tell you what, though, it may be too soon. I got no jokes about the situation, but I did see that a lot of people were saying that they didn't want them to recast for Black Panther. Mm-hmm. And I can see where people are coming from with that. I can empathize with it. Like me being Marquette, a person, I empathize, I understand. But me being a superhero fan and a Marvel comic fan, I'm like, nah, we got to get another person for that role. What if I died tomorrow and my job was like, we're not hiring another guy for his position. We want to honor the work that he did. We're just going to keep that position vacant, and the rest of the people can pick up the slack. I was like, no, you're going to find you're going to probably pay for the funeral, send your condolences, and then you're going to go on Indeed and write some shit up like we need another person. And like, what are you talking about? do
Yeah.
magnificent things to honor him. That is not honoring him. Saying that we don't want anyone else to occupy that role. I don't think that is the right way to honor him. Just because you feel like it should be done.
So can they do that role? How you feel they did that role, but the Black Panther never took his mask off?
I don't think that would work because me, I always read comics growing up. I always get like obsessed with things I don't fuck with no more. So I read comics for like a good 3 years. Now I stopped.
Yeah.
But during that 3 years, I read Black Panther comics, and like he's dual characters. He's both the Black Panther warrior, and then he's the fucking king. So that was depicting him as the warrior. I heard people say like, "Oh, we should just have his younger." You've seen the movie, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I seen the movie, read the comic books.
Gotcha. So, his sister, like in the comics, I never read that part of it, but I understand the storyline. They say his sister ultimately takes over. She becomes the new Black Panther and like the queen or the king, however it works.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying like, okay, well, for the movies, let's just do that. Let's just have her take over.
Move on.
And I wouldn't mind that. I would mind that. I'm just a part of me is like thinking about the cancel culture people in the back of my head. You know what? I would mind that because part of the reason is that you watch superhero films is you kind of live vicariously through the character.
Yeah, you root for him. You got used to rooting for him.
Yeah, so you live, but like I wouldn't want to see an action movie that consisted of just women. Not because women can't do action films. There's Scarlett Johansson kills it as Black Widow. I think Karen was just an adult one on Netflix. Obviously they can, but part of you watching the action film is kind of to live vicariously, for men at least, to live vicariously through those characters. I know everyone, especially in Black culture, has the experience of going to the movie theaters, watching like a Bruce Lee film, and then leaving feeling like you can do that shit, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Everyone. Yeah. But if that was a woman doing that, you wouldn't feel that way. Maybe little girls would, but for a man, you wouldn't. Watching a woman do that doesn't make you feel like you can do the same thing, right? So, although I think I'm not against her doing that, if that's the route that Disney wants to go, fine. All I'm saying is if we already got a dope-ass Black Panther 2-story written, and we already found a way to make that fit into like the rest of the movies like they've been doing, let's not change that. Let's go with that. Let's find another dude who can occupy that position and try to find another way to honor Chadwick, which I think they're doing by like making a Wakanda themed park, which is dope. But there's tons of way to honor.
Without. And what's crazy is one of the dopest people that could have played that part now is unfortunately Killmonger.
You know what? I didn't, not to get too much into a Black Panther conversation, but I like Michael B. Jordan. I think that he did do a good job at Killmonger, but I didn't believe him. I think visually they picked the perfect person. He looks like how I would have wanted Killmonger to look. He had the look down. I just didn't believe him in a villain role. It's something, and I've talked to friends about it who will watch these types of films as well, and they agree. They were like, "Yeah, I couldn't buy into him playing that character. He sounded like he was trying to be." I'll try to make a parallel real quick. Like I've talked to people like about Jamie Foxx portraying Ray and Will Smith portraying Ali, and it's like you can't really compare the two because Will Smith seemed as if he was doing a decent impression of Muhammad Ali. Jamie Foxx became Ray Charles. And there's
I thought he was Ray Charles for a little while. Like I forgot that was Jamie Foxx.
He became that motherfucker. So it's like with Michael B. Jordan, when he played Killmonger, it's like he was trying to portray a villain instead of becoming a villain like Heath Ledger did.
Heath Ledger was the greatest. I mean, he was outstanding. He was the best villain ever.
Yeah. I mean, I saw a video today of another podcast talking about movies, Batman movies in particular. And they were like, Bane did just as good of a job. They just feel like the Batman movie that the Joker was in, I think Dark Knight, was it? Dark Knight? was just a better written film, just a better movie, and that character was more iconic. But when it comes to acting, the guy who played Bane, what's his name? I forgot the guy's name.
Can't think his name. I'm bad with names, bro.
Really? But he did a great job too. So like from an acting perspective, like Heath Ledger may have done a slightly better job, but I still think they really did become those characters. They were highly believable on the film. And for this new Batman trailer, I don't know if you've seen it with Robert Pattinson.
No, not yet.
Okay. I don't know what the hype is. People are hyped as fuck about this movie. Robert Pattinson looks like Edward Cullen from the vampire movies that he was in.
Yeah.
Is now trying to become a bat for real. That's what it looks like. I'm like, bro, I don't know what y'all, and it may be a great movie. I'm just saying the trailer that we've seen does not look like it's going to be that fantastic.
Yeah, I feel you.
I was hype about was the black. It's a black actor, dude. I forget his name. He always plays like a supporting role. He's never the protagonist. He's like an older, light-skinned dude with like a Shelton head. It's a big ass head, a mushroom head.
That's huge.
Like just
that's good.
Head.
That alone is gonna take a lot of thinking.
Yeah. But I'm thinking of what he played in.
This is me?
That you would have watched. He's playing a lot of stuff, man, but it's like it's always like random roles. There's like no consistent theme of what he plays in. Like there's one show that comes on HBO with like there's robots, and the robots are they're like realistic. Westworld is the name of the TV show, and he plays the black guy up there. I
haven't seen Westworld.
I forget his name. You know what? We're on the podcast, which I can. You're eating a loud carrot, so I can look it up right now. His name is Jeffrey Wright. This guy. Can you make that out?
Oh, yeah.
One of my favorite actors, man. Does a phenomenal job.
Yeah. He's good as he's real good as a supporting. Has he won anything for best supporting?
I don't know. So are there actors, you would know more than I do because you've been doing this acting thing for a while. In the acting culture, is there ego to where like every actor wants to ultimately play that protagonist role, or do some just want to just live their lane? It's like, okay, I'm always a supporting character. I'm gonna do the best supporting character role as possible, and I'm just gonna stay in the space. Like, how is it?
No, everybody wants to have that. You know, this is my movie. This is me. Mm-hmm.
So why do you think people like him don't get those type of roles, given that he's known as being a phenomenal actor?
Because it's easy to get typecast as something, and they always want you to be the sidekick of something else. Mm-hmm. That is one of the things that I believe that could happen to me. Mm-hmm. Because I'm the fat, lovable, funny guy. Mm-hmm. I am thankful for shooting For My Man because it was dramatic and nationally syndicated. And so people got to see me doing a dramatic role and not just a comedic role.
Yeah.
So I think I can now show people do versatility. Some of the other dramatic stuff I've shot, because off camera, like when the camera's not rolling, we just hanging around set. I'm, as you know, I'm the funny guy. I'm always the funny person.
Yeah.
Directors see that. Directors will see that and be like, hey, when we say action again, I want you to do your lines a little different. I want you to do it this way. So in one of my joints had a serious role. I played the cashier of a store, and I'm supposed to be irritated that this guy ain't got no money and all that stuff. But he was like, just freestyle something, whatever you want to do. Uh-huh. And so I did it about 5 times. And I did it serious on the first 2 just to say, okay, we got a good one. After that, it became me just messing around with the guy when he came up. When the short film finished, that's what they used. They used me joking around with the guy. They're like, you're perfect for that. I understand, but I think that's the part that I'm trying to avoid is being typecast. But if you are very good at something, and like they see you in this movie and you did an excellent fucking job on it, it's easy to get typecast because people like they writing something, have you in mind of it. They be like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna write this script, and Mark, he'll be good for this one. I'm gonna write this. You just got finished playing a role, something like that. They be like, hey, got this other role for you, similar to what you did here, and then that conversation now start happening with every shoot.
Yeah.
Similar to what you did here, similar to what you did here.
Yeah.
So that's how the typecast started.
I can appreciate that though, because I can appreciate how like challenging that probably is, considering that as an actor, roles aren't easy to come by, especially in the beginning. So it's like on the one hand, you don't want to be typecasted, but on the other hand, you don't want to take food out of your mouth.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly. You have to accept some typecast at first, but then it's up to you as an actor to put yourself in more auditions for something that's different from the character you've been playing. Because if you have your agent and everything, and people start writing stuff for you, that's where the typecast come in. If you're just sitting back waiting for somebody, stuff to fall in your lap, those were the typecast roles. So it's up to you as an actor. If you start seeing that you start getting typecast, it's like, all right, I need to go start auditioning for some different things, so I get an opportunity to broaden my horizon with my resume.
At what point you just said that when you start to see yourself getting typecast, at what point, like how many roles would you have to get that is the same role where that light bulb goes off, where it's like, okay, I'm starting to get typecasted?
I think for me, it'd have been my third one. If I get once I get number 3, like, wait a second.
Wait a minute.
These niggas
want me to think I'm a fat guy for real.
I was like, I try to tell everybody, I'm fat, but I ain't fat.
Something fishy is going on here. I can't get cast as a fat guy. Who do these people think I am? I'm in the white box. God damn it.
Am I really fat? It's just start going look in the mirror like, well, I'll be damned. I am fat.
That'd be a funny skit. That'd be a real funny skit. There's a dumb character who's like, they think I'm fat. And while he's eating while he's saying it.
Yeah.
I could play the guy on the beach. Oh man. No, it's seeing like Ian, people listening who don't know who Ian is. There's people who we're going to refer to a lot in this podcast, Ian and Shelton, who both were in the movie thing for my family. But Ian played the brother of mine in the movie. And he's another guy who's like takes acting extremely serious like Boogie does. But seeing that he was on backstage and actively looking for jobs, like got my gears turning. It's like, okay, let me go ahead and get my shit set too. Because that's one place where I've not really played in, right? Like any acting opportunities come my way, any mentions have just been serendipity or just blessings. It hasn't really been actively. So, because my mindset has always been like, okay, put out content. And then from the content, that's like the engine that generates opportunities for you. But who's to say you can't do both? Both put out content and go for these things, like go directly to it instead of trying to find like a roundabout way to get to that same goal. So I got to make sure that I don't fucking have like a detachable beard, so they don't have me playing the same. We need a bearded, thuggish looking black guy.
Yeah.
I've always. So, what is your dream role? What is like the role that would make you over the moon if they told you got it?
See, so here was crazy about that.
I'm
gonna get typecast for it. My dream role is a role that I probably get typecast for, and that's I can just be me. Like they just want to hire me to be me. Just let me go, and like if I could just be the guy that's always cracking jokes, or don't take nothing serious. Always got some intellect, but it's usually follow up with a joke or something like that. So my role is to play myself.
If that's your ideal role, then what's the problem with being typecasted from your perspective?
Because I'm better than just that. I can do other things. I can be dramatic. I can cry.
So are you saying, so the scenario that pops in my head that's giving me is, let's say that you do get that dream role and you get typecasted in that role for Hollywood, but you're like, okay, I'm an actor though, I can do more things. But if you are getting casted as this role, you would be able to do smaller budget things in whatever role you wanted because you've already proven to have a certain level of success.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Like if Jamie
Yes.
Foxx got typecasted as like just a biopic guy because he won an Oscar for Ray, he could still go in like a national play and play whatever role he wanted because they know people are going to buy tickets to see him in whatever role he wants. So would that scenario not fulfill the desire for you to play multiple types of characters?
It could definitely help. Definitely help. And I think that if I got typecast to be me, like for instance, if it was a TV show, like when we had a series, that's different because that's my job to show up and act this way on TV every day.
Yeah.
Whereas it wouldn't feel like acting. But if you're in a movie, you only got this certain amount of time to act like this. And so if I get another movie, then I was like, you know what? Yeah, I want to do this. So that's why. So that's another thing to help answer the question. Is my actually dream role is actually not in a movie. My dream role is to be on a TV series.
Why do you think that is? Like, what about that is so appealing?
Because of and definitely has nothing to do with money, but because of the fact that I get to see myself on TV every week. Different thing. I want my fans to be able to have actual emotional attachment to me. First, they time in a movie, you only got emotional attachment for 2 hours, you know. But if I'm on your show, I'm on DVR every week, I mean you're seeing me every single week.
Yeah.
And people become attached to those characters. I mean, look at the dude on Power. You know, people snapping on him in public. You know, did you kill Ghost? You know, all this stuff. Yeah. And, you know, you got stuff like that. So I want people to have the actual, I don't care if I'm hated. I just want you to have an attachment to me. You know, so I want them to see me and probably like, this bitch, fat ass.
Damn boogie.
Yeah. So it's like, I want that. And because I'm now on your TV screen every week versus just 2 hours. And then you got to wait another year and a half for my next movie to come out for me to be doing, you know, now I'm in something else.
Yeah.
I want a TV series.
I got you. That's kind of relates to what my ideal scenario is because like I was thinking for a while about like just wanting to write for a show, and I'm like, I don't know, writing for a show is fucking tough, man. Just like, and I have no personal experience doing that, but just like writing by myself and then hearing stories of people who write for shows, it's like it demands a lot of you. The hours are really long, but I would love to be like in the Kenya Barris situation. Would love to like be able to write a show based on like something I'm passionate about, and have a hand in casting it the way I want it to be casted, right? And I would like doing that, and I would like even more to be in a more of a Donald Glover situation. I guess Kenya Barris is the same. For y'all don't know, Kenya Barris is the one who created Blackish, and whatever show of his is on Netflix where he plays the main character. I would look. That's my. If I was to get that tomorrow, I probably would be depressed because I will be like, what's next? You know what I mean? Like, I think that's why certain people, like celebrities, get really depressed, sometimes commit suicide, because it's like you have this big dream that you think is going to take a long time to achieve, and you achieve your lifelong dream at age 30, and now you got to live for another 60 years. And it's like, what? That's why I think like I empathize a lot with athletes. Because it's like, think from like an athlete, you say you play football, if like you're someone who's really good, like Shelton was at football, and you get to the league and you're blessed in a way to where you can excel even there with like the toughest competition, and then your knee blows out at age 28, you've spent your entire life focused on this one thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people who train for the Olympics and stuff, they don't have a life, bro. Their life is fucking like if you were a gymnast, you on the rings, bro. You on the rings 24/7.
Yeah.
It's all about the rings. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But get to them floor exercises.
Exactly. Do the flips, nigga. Like that's your life. And then you get to a place where you can't do it no more, and you're still young. So it's like, what's next? What could you possibly do that would still fuel? That's why I always wanted to be involved in the industry. Because I've always, like, I look at people around me, I look at people's stories, and I see who I want to aspire to be, but I also see the people who are like, okay, I don't want to end up like that. That person's life did not go in a good place, so okay, let me look and see what they did to get them to that place and avoid that path 1,000%, right? And, you know, that's why I wanted to be involved in the industry that had like staying power. Like acting, you can do forever. Acting is one of those things. There's always going to be like, you can be 82. There's going to be like, we're casting for 82-year-old person. Like, perfect. But for what I'm doing, comedy writing, all that kind of stuff, you can do that. You can do stand-up forever. You can die on stage. So I think that's why we're in a unique situation where we can continue doing the thing we love for as long as we live, because your dream can be, for your situation, you really dream of being an actor, your dream could be alive forever.
Yeah, that's true.
Be that next audition is going to be the one.
yeah, exactly.
So I think that's a really good situation to be in.
I've definitely had some auditions where I just knew, like, those are the ones that really get to me. It's the ones that you go in and you be like, you know, you feel good about yourself sitting in the waiting room till they call your name. They come to the door, you know, they the boogie. I'm like, here we go. Walk in, you get to meet directors and producers and everything. And already, naturally, I'm going to win them over anyway, just straight off top, off of meeting them. Me going in right off the bat saying that my name is Boogie already has conversation talking when I get there. Then when they look at my resume and they see my resume kind of long, and then at the bottom they see I do improv. Usually in the interview, audition, I have probably the director like, wait a minute, you do improv? Yeah, they were like, oh, I've always wanted to try this. And they'll sit there and give me, you know, all right, I want you to imagine that you sell dog food and at the same time, you scared to get on roller coasters. Action. And you be like that.
No preparation, so, just go.
Yeah, just go. So I've done that plenty of times in the joint. And then they're like, oh, man, they be like, man, that is great. That's great. All right, let me read these lines. You know, here you go. This is your reader. Action. And I would sit there and kill the lines. And they'd be like, oh, my God, this is great. This is great. He's going to beat everybody. He's going to beat. And to make you feel good, I'd be like, yes. I leave out like nobody's going to beat me. Yeah. So, because not only did I deliver the lines, you know, flawlessly, I can improv. So they already know if something goes on the set, they ain't gonna worry about saying cut. Just let the camera keep rolling, and I'm gonna tear it up. Yeah, man, them are the ones that you don't hear nothing. You be like,
so the ones that make you feel the best, you don't hear anything back from them.
I don't hear nothing. The ones that go in and be like, I did good, but I don't know about that one. Those ones get the callbacks for.
So why do you think that is?
Again, as I was talking about at the beginning, is that you might not, even though you killed the role, you're not what they're looking for. The person that is sitting there doing the audition, I would say 9 times out of 10, I would say about 7 times out of 10, is not the person that's gonna make the final decision. Mm-hmm. If it's for a commercial or something specific like that, you can go into an audition. The person that is paying for the commercial, so the sponsor or whoever it is, they're the ones that have that final decision. So they'll come in, the director and everything will be there. They'll give. So let's say, for instance, you sell shirts, Marquette shirts. You're not gonna come to the audition. You're too busy for that. You gonna send your director and your producers and stuff. They record video, record you, and so what happens is they come back to you like, all right, boss, here you go. These are the auditions you have. This one we really like, and they'll show you this is Boogie, killer lines. Then they'll show you somebody else, and they were like, oh, you know what? He did do good, but he's gonna look better in this shirt. Mm-hmm. The shirt not gonna look so tight on him because he don't have breast. So let's go ahead and give it to this guy, and it be shit like that.
Gotcha. So real small things. This is why acting is one of those things, man. You gotta have that tough skin.
Got to have to. If any of the listeners out here are thinking about getting acting, if you scared at all, don't do it. It is not. If you don't like rejection, this is absolutely not the career path. You got to have patience. You got to have, because one thing with patience is when you go to an audition, only thing that you see up front, and you'll know all the information because you find this information out before you even submit for it. They tell you up front, hey, this shoot date is going to be December 1st, and today is November 26th, but the shoot date is December 1st. You go in, you do the audition, you're like, all right, cool. So they got to call back sometime before then. It'll be December 2nd. They be like, well, I ain't hear nothing. If you didn't get it, you're not going to hear anything. They're not going to, it's not like a job interview when they're like, hey, we decided to go with somebody else. They don't care about you. They just don't contact you. It's just they only contact the ones that's going to be in the production.
Yeah.
So if you don't hear by a certain date, you know you didn't get it. Up to the day before shoot day. The day before shoot day is when I know I was in. So what I do is I go and audition and got to learn some Denzel. When I go into do audition, I immediately forget about it, and I start looking for the next audition. Like I look for auditions maybe twice a day, every single day. Like I don't miss every single day, because the day you miss, the day something pop up.
Yeah.
And you catch it the following day, but by the time you catch it, 10 dudes are already submitted for it.
Yeah.
So I forget about the audition, but before I go, when I find out that yes, we want you to come to an audition, first thing I do is I go onto my Google Calendar thing, and I actually put in shoot date is such and such date for this production, so that way I forget about it. So then I go look at my calendar line. Let me see. Oh, I didn't get that because that one's gone. That one's gone. Didn't get that. And there's a lot of check marks in that motherfucker that you don't get.
You know, it reminds me of a quote. It was like, it was a quote. I forgot who said it, and I don't even know what. I'm paraphrasing the quote, but he was basically saying that people should go for big, audacious goals, because even if they fail, he says, hard to fail completely, right? So, like, apply that to what you just described. You go to an audition, you don't get it, but you won them over. That could be someone who is going to be a part of the next audition that you audition for. They remember you. That's why you get the call, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
I think for everything, you got to have the right mindset, right?
Yeah.
For every endeavor, you got to have the right mindset. For something like acting, you got to make sure that shit is dialed in first before you go out there and face all those no's. That's a hard thing to come back from. But yeah, man, I think I'm gonna hop up there and start looking for some opportunities, man, and put the feelers out, because I was telling Ian, I was like, 'cause he was like, should I do this one? And I was like, yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. And plus, now I feel like you may have a leg up on people who are afraid of COVID. You know what I mean? Like, you take a risk, but some people may not be actively seeking out opportunities. Like, you may not have much competition as you would have if the world was normal right now. So this might be the time for a little come up.
And absolutely, because even with somebody like me, who I don't mind paying for myself to go on auditions or paying myself to be in your production. And I say, when I say pay, I'm paying you. I'm literally paying you to be in the productions because you hired me as a local. You're shooting in Atlanta. So if you tell me that you're hiring a local, that already means that you're not paying travel. So I pay my own way to be there. So if my fee, not my fee, what you're going to pay me is $300. My airplane ticket could be $310. Then I gotta have a place to stay when I get there. That's $80 a night. So now, once I go past what I'm about to make out of your production, once I meet that, anything I do after that, I'm now paying to be in your production, and I have no problem doing that at all. Like I pay to go to auditions because auditions be in Atlanta. I mean, you got to be there to get there. So I fly myself to Atlanta. So and with that, it's like because of COVID, because of my wife and my daughter and my parents and everything, I haven't even attempted to look for stuff to Atlanta. So I'd be on the site when I look for location. If it's past North Carolina, I'm like next, because I just want gotta be somewhere I can drive to. Because I'm not ready to get on plane yet.
Gotcha. I mean, I agree with that mindset, man. As far as like, I can see it both ways, but I think that you paying to be in a production is just an investment. It's an investment like any. It's no different than me buying a nice microphone for this podcast, which I'm not going to do. Y'all are going to deal with this shitty audio for as long as I want you to. But if I were to, in a mystical land, buy a microphone for this podcast, that would be considered an investment in my craft. So if you're someone who's acting and you're like, you don't really have you're not booked anything yet, like you're still in that phase where you're trying to get experience, you may have to, shed out some cash in order to go ahead and get that experience.
Exactly.
Pay off in the long run. Because acting is one of those things, I guess, because it appeals to so many people. Sometimes you get people who are kind of young-minded there, and they don't think about things in that way. They're like, well, if you're not paying me, I'm providing a service, I should get paid, right? Especially like the younger, like Generation Z and stuff, who are really about like, not about rights, but about just fairness and equality. And that sounds good on paper, but like people who are a little more seasoned, we know that that kind of stuff it's not so black and white in that way. Like at a
Exactly.
certain level, you got to pay dues.
Yep.
And if you're in the pay and dues phase, you just gotta, as Gary Vaynerchuk says, eat shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the process, man. Enjoy the journey. This is where the story you got the stories you're going to tell when you're 40 are coming from right now. You know what I mean? So just embrace that.
Exactly, and that's why I tell everybody. It's like, so when I'm 60, it's somebody interviewing me. Tell me how it was when you first started out. I paid for myself a lot of places. I paid for auditions and stuff. Auditions won't happen where I was. I had to get to them. You know,
Yeah.
it's just part of your story. You're just building up your story now. Everything that you're doing between now and you make it big is building answers for your interview.
Yeah.
That's what I tell people. I'm just building answers for my interview.
Yeah.
And I tell a lot of people, I'm already famous. I'm just waiting for the rest of the world to find out.
There you go. That's the mindset right there. And on that note, I think we can go ahead and end this thing. It's almost like we got to change his name because the last half of this was definitely not too uninformed opinions. Was too informed.
We actually knew a lot.
But yeah, people, that you heard it. This is the episode 2 in the books with the 2 uninformed opinions with Marquette and Boogie. Always go ahead and like, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. Subscribe if you're on Apple, listens to this, Spotify, listens to this. Make sure you leave a review. That'll help us out a lot. And until next time, we're out.